Salakia Yashala. Devil's messing around with my camera, but I'm going to keep going. He can't stop this truth. Okay, I left off at the book of Ephesians. Let's go to the book of Luke. See how the Most High speaks. Luke 1 and Salakia. Give me a second. No, it's going to the book of First Thessalonians. The book of First Thessalonians 4, and I'm going to read the 14th verse. Devil's not stopping his word. First Thessalonians 4 and verse 14 reads, "For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him." First Thessalonians 4 and verse 15, "For this we say unto you by the word of Yahweh, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep." First Thessalonians 4 and 16, "For Yahweh himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Christ shall rise first." So we're talking about the ones that are asleep. As you see, definition of sleep in the Bible, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. First Thessalonians 4 and 17, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Messiah in the air. So shall we ever be with Yahweh." First Thessalonians 4 and verse 18, "Wherefore comfort one another with these words." Okay? "Wherefore comfort one another with these words." Or by the word of Yahweh. Point blank period. Let's get another precept. Let's go to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy, I'm going to read from the 4th chapter, and I'm going to read verse 4. 1 Timothy 4 and starting from the 4th verse. And it reads, "For every creature of the Most High is good, and nothing to be refused, for it be received with thanksgiving." 1 Timothy 4 and verse 5, "For it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh and prayer." For it, 1 Timothy 4 and 5, "For it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh and prayer." 1 Timothy 4 and 6, "If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Yahushua HaMashiach, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained." Okay? All by the word of the Most High God. "If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Yahushua HaMashiach, nourished up in the words of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained." All by the word of Yahweh. Point blank period. Let's continue. Let's go to the book of Hebrews. Hebrews 11, and I'm going to start reading from the top. Hebrews 11 and verse Hebrews 1 and verse 1. "The Most High, who at sundry times and divers matters spake in past unto the fathers by the prophets." Just to prove, how does the Most High speak to his people, the children of Israel? Hebrews 1 and verse 1. "The Most High, who at sundry times and in divers matters speak in times past unto the fathers by the prophets." That's how he speaks. By the prophets. The only way he speaks. Through Moses, Noah, all the apostles, the Messiah, Job, all his prophets and servants. That's how the Most High speaks. Let's get a precept. Let's go to the book of Luke. Book of Luke 1 and verse 60, Salakia, 70. Luke 1 and verse 70, and it reads, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. How do you get the word of the Most High? Only through his prophets. I'm proving it without a shadow of a doubt. Luke 1 and 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Point blank, period. How do you know the Most High? You have to be connected to one of his prophets. Point blank, period. There's no other way. None of them hardened churches out here preaching the so-called prosperity gospel that the Most High loves all, so vain and vanity. Point blank, period. Let's go to another precept. 1 Peter. Go back into the New Testament. 1 Peter. I'm going to read the first verse in the 23rd, first chapter, 23rd verse. 1 Peter 1 and verse 23 reads, being born again, not corruptible seed, but of incorruptible. 1 Peter 1 and 23, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of Yahweh. 1 Peter 1 and 23, being born again. How you be born again? Through the word of the Most High. I proved it with Ephesians 5:26, Psalms 119 and verse 9. How shall a young man cleanse his way? Taking heed to thy word. St. John 15 and 3, St. John 17 and 17. Cleansed by the truth, by the word of the Most High. 1 Peter 1 and 23, being born again, not of corrupt seed, but incorruptible, by the word of the Most High, which liveth and abideth forever. 1 Peter 1:23. I love this precept. Being born again, because everybody has this thing. How do you be born again? You get dipped in this dirty, polluted water? Unlearn and knoweth nothing. These so-called Christians and Catholics out here with this bogus doctrine. 1 Peter 1 and 23. Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of Yahweh, which liveth and abideth forever. All is done by the word of the Most High God, Yahweh. Can't make this up. Let's get a couple of precepts going into the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha, for all you learn, do your research. It's part of the Bible that these devils took out. Try to confuse the true servants of the Most High. This is out of the book Sirach. Ecclesiasticus 4. And I'm going to read the 24th verse. Ecclesiastic, the 4th chapter, which is the book of Sirach. Sirach, Ecclesiastic 4 and the 24th verse. And it reads, for by speech wisdom shall be known. Ecclesiastes, Sirach 4 and 24. For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. Okay? Sirach 4 and 24 out of the Apocrypha. For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. Sirach 4 and 25. In no wise speak against the truth. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of thine ignorance. Okay? Sirach 4 and 25. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of thine ignorance. Okay? So don't come against this truth if you don't know. Do your research. Let's get a precept. Let's go to the book of Matthews. Matthews 12, and I'm going to read the 36th verse. Matthew's New Testament, St. Matthew's 12 and 36. Red letters, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach speaking. And it reads, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. Very powerful. Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that a man speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. So in the day of judgment, you're going to have to give accounts when you come against this truth. All you scorners out there and all you unlearned people that's coming against the truth of this Bible. Matthew 12 and 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified. Matthew 12 and 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. All praise and glory to the Most High. So your ignorance, don't come against this word. If you don't know these precepts, and scorning against this Bible, you're going to have to give an account in the day of judgment. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Let's go back into the Apocrypha. Sirach 48. Sirach 48, and I'm going to read from the 3rd verse. Sirach 48 and verse 3 reads, by the word of Yahweh he shut up the heaven, and also 3 times brought down fire. Listen very carefully. This is Sirach out of the Apocrypha, chapter 48. I'm reading the 3rd verse. By the word of Yahweh he shut up the heaven, and also 3 times brought down fire. It's by the word. All by the word of the Most High God, Yahweh. Point blank, period. Let's drop down to verse 5. Sirach 48 and verse 5. Who didst raise up a dead man from death. Okay? Sirach 48 and verse 5. Who did raise up a dead man from death. We know it's Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And his soul from the place of the dead by the word of the Most High. Read it again. Sirach 48 and verse 5. Who didst raise up a dead man from death, and his soul from the place of the dead by the word of the Most High. Can't make this up. You all by the word of the Most High God, Yahweh. That's how it is. Everything is done by the word of the Most High. Point blank, period. Let's continue in the Apocrypha. Let's go to the book of Baruch. Let's go to the book of Baruch. I'm going to read the chapter 4, and I'm going to go to the 36th verse. Baruch 4 and 36 reads, O Jerusalem, about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Baruch 4 and 36. O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Okay, here we're talking to the people, the children of Israel, to look towards the east. Why? Because we're supposed to be praying to the east. We're supposed to be praying, looking towards Jerusalem, which is east of us. Read it again. Baruch 4 and 36 out of the Apocrypha. O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Baruch 4 and 37. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh. Read it again. Baruch 4 and 37. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away, the children of Israel, bondage and captivity. They cometh gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. All by the word of the Most High God. Can't make this up. Cannot make this up. Let's stay in the book of Baruch. Let's go to Baruch 5 and read verse 5. Baruch 5 and verse 5 reads, Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand high and look about towards the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of Yahweh. Baruch 5 and verse 5, Arise, O Jerusalem, the children of Israel, recognized as Jerusalem, the land, and of course the people. O Jerusalem, stand on high and look towards the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east, and by the word